Welcome back to Sports Talk with Jarrett Wilson. I'm your host, Jarrett Wilson, here with Episode 3. It's a very special episode this week. I'm here at the PIAA State Tournament for wrestling. Our first guest of the show is going to be junior Colton Zimmerman. He's at his second trip to States in 2 years. He was a placer last year. So, Zimmy, tell me, how are you going to try to improve from your trip last year to this year?
This year we're going to make a big improvement on placing, I think. I feel like I'm in a good spot in the bracket. I feel like I'm going to wrestle a lot better because last year I was a little disappointed how I wrestled in the quarterfinals, but this year I'm going to step it up and wrestle harder than I ever have.
So, Zim, growing up with you at a very young age, wrestling in elementary school together, I know you're a very hard worker. How do you think your hard work in the room pays off with you wrestling in the matches?
Hard work in the room pays off for me because I just go hard at practice. I train my best, and, there's always a saying, you wrestle at practice. So I just go off of that a lot.
So last year, you took 5th as a sophomore. That's a huge accomplishment, one of the biggest accomplishments for Carlisle wrestling as a whole. How do you feel going back in this year that you can top that? That's a big feat for you to accomplish as a sophomore. How are you going to top that as a junior?
This year as a junior, I feel like we can top that because even though I was out all summer, I put in a lot of work so far this season. Had a decent season so far. Lost a few matches because I haven't been back in a while, but I feel like I'm back stronger than ever, and I'm ready to go win a state title.
So being on this team, I feel like our team bond is very strong. How do you feel our team chemistry plays into just the overall feel of the season?
Our team's chemistry is really amazing. When everyone's in a good mood, everyone's in a good mood. Like, everyone wrestles really well. When somebody's down in the dumps, we pick them up. So, sometimes before matches, I'll get in my head or, I'll get nervous, and everyone just talks to me. And being around everyone just relaxes me, and I'll go out and have fun and wrestle my match.
And, the sport of wrestling as a whole has really grown, take leaps and bounds in the past 2 years. Now you're starting to see this not really different sport, but a different aspect of the sport, and girls wrestling starting to emerge. How do you feel that is for the whole sport of wrestling?
I feel like girls wrestling is going to open up a whole new world of wrestling for girls, obviously. It's going to bring a lot more entertainment instead of just guy wrestling. And it's going to get a lot better for, national wrestling. I feel like it's going to make a big impact on, worlds and stuff like that. A lot of girls in high school and elementary are going to start wrestling, be able to compete on those world teams instead of having to wrestle with men the whole time.
So this is going to be our last question for you. It's only your junior season. You've been through a lot in your high school career. What do you think has been the high point? What have you enjoyed the most of your 3 years in high school?
I think the most out of 3 years of high school that I've enjoyed was probably winning a state medal last year with all my friends there to watch. After I came off the mat, I had Noah and Ozzy and Raf there hugging me, and just made me feel really good. Accomplished. I was glad that I did that. It felt good.
All right, well, thank you, Zimmy. Good luck this weekend. We'll be back in 30 with Jarrett Wilson, Sports Talk on Periscope. Welcome back to Sports Talk with Jarrett Wilson. Now I'm here with our second guest of the podcast, senior Rafael Portilla, wrestles 120 pounds for the herd. Raf, it's your last dance at States. You're a senior. How do you feel your experience from the past 3 years is going to help you finally get your goal of a medal here this weekend?
I mean, experience is experience. Just over time, you learn things. My mentality has changed a lot. I don't know.
Speaking on that mentality, watching you grow not as a wrestler but as a person, how do you feel your mentality has changed ever since you were a freshman making the state tournament?
A lot more focused, a lot more serious. I care a lot more about wrestling.
So I asked this question to Zim about our team chemistry. How do you feel team chemistry plays a role into your just season in general?
Our team chemistry is great. We're like a family. We all push each other to get better, and we have fun doing it too. So it's good.
So, like I've been saying, it's your senior year. How would you sum up your senior year right now before this weekend?
I've been way more focused. I've been trying a lot harder. I've been picking it up in the room more.
And, that really showed off. You got your 100th win at Garnet Valley this year. That was a huge accomplishment, not just for you, but for Carlisle wrestling. Great year for us. How do you see, ever since wrestling for elementary for the herd, how have you seen our program grow and develop?
It's grown pretty well. We've produced a lot of good wrestlers. Maybe not so much quantity, but more quality.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what's your goal this weekend? Your final question of the night. What is your goal this weekend at the PIAA state tournament?
My goal is obviously to win states. It's my last year. It's my last chance.
Any decisions or anything after high school? What are you thinking?
I'm thinking college, wrestling college, maybe Clarion University. And I'm hoping to major in psychology, get a job there.
All right, well, thank you, Raf. Thank you for another great episode. Thank you for everyone who's listening and supporting the podcast. I'll see you next time on Sports Talk with Jarrett Wilson.